What up, UFC world? Interesting article came up as I was reading the news, and the article's title is actually "What Happens If Ronda Rousey Never Returns to UFC?" Hmm, that's a very interesting question and very interesting article. I thought I'd share with you guys what I thought about it, and at the end, you guys can drop me some comments and let me know what you think. But anyway, article says, over the past few years, Ronda Rousey has undoubtedly become the biggest star in the history of women's mixed martial arts, while rapidly rising up the ranks as most well-known fighter to compete in the UFC. Well, no doubt about it that Ronda Rousey is probably or was or is the highest paid female UFC fighter. You know, I don't think necessarily because of her record. I don't think necessarily because of her skills. I think a lot of promotions and money and sponsorships comes from obviously none other than character. You know, Ronda Rousey is a vocal person. She's a very opinionated person, and not to mention she's also a good fighter. But I think character, one's character counts the most of how your career will turn out, especially in the sport of mixed martial arts, boxing, what have you, right? Physical sports. When you're by yourself, unlike football, boxing, football or basketball, things like that, where you're not necessarily the center of attention. You could be, but there's other guys or gals that plays, like in volleyball or something like that. But as far as like boxing, mixed martial arts, and UFC and Muay Thai, women's stuff, karate or any kind of martial arts, I think you're by yourself, and all eyes are on you, so to speak. So whatever you do, all the credit goes to you. But we've seen a lot of fighters, whether boxing or UFC, MMA, what have you, Muay Thai, that we've seen a lot of athletes that are very good, that are almost perfect, but they don't have that character. You want me to give you an example? Well, as we all know, Holly Holm recently, a couple weeks ago, or a few weeks ago, beat Ronda Rousey via second round knockout. Now, we all know that Holly Holm is a very humble, quiet person. She doesn't talk trash, but she is a confident person, don't get me wrong. But she, she lacks character. You know what I'm saying? Even though, in my own opinion, you guys have yours, you guys can drop those comments, but in my own opinion, even though Holly Holm beat Ronda Rousey, I don't think that her character could be as good, or this is just off the wall, off the top of my head. I don't think that she would make the same money that Ronda Rousey would make, if that makes sense. She doesn't have that character. You have to be a character, unless you know what I'm saying, you've been winning and knocking out people. I mean, that's probably, they'll do it too. But you've seen a lot of fighters that have lost before, but because of their character, they're famous. You know what I'm saying? That's male and female. I don't think that Holly Holm is that popular yet, as much as Ronda Rousey. I mean, yes, she is known because she obviously beat Ronda Rousey, and the whole world will watch it. I mean, you've seen videos on YouTube and others that have millions and millions of views. Obviously, people have seen it, but still, to the people that didn't watch the fight or didn't know that the fight happened, you say Holly Holm, it's not a very popular name. Ronda Rousey, now, that's a different animal. It's a different story. But I mean, she could be. But as the question on hand, as it says, what happens to UFC if Ronda Rousey leaves? I mean, no doubt about that, it would hurt, a little bit, I guess. I mean, you still got guys and stuff like that, like McGregor, they're also a character and a champion. But I think it's the character that counts. I mean, obviously you can't be like loose and 10 straight and be a character. That's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna get no praise or money like that. But if you're winning, you know what I'm saying? You win more than you lose, and you're a character. Especially Ronda Rousey, she is. She's been invited to many interviews, to include the Ellen DeGeneres show. I mean, you name it. That's just one of the stuff that she was very popular to be invited in there. Um, but she has other interviews prior to the Holly Holm fight. What happens to UFC? In my own opinion, I think it would hurt a little bit. You know, money wise, financially, I think it would hurt a little bit. But as we all know, every corporation companies they're always looking for a talent. It's just a matter of time, anyways, till Ronda Rousey leaves the sport because she's trying to pursue her acting career, so to speak, in Hollywood. And I think she's making a movie as we speak. But that's funny. That's a good question. I mean, I don't think that Ronda Rousey would not return. I think she would return. I don't think one loss, deserves or enough reason for you to retire. I mean, it's not like you got really messed up. It's not like you were knocked out cold. I mean, she was beat up pretty bad and split lips and stuff like that. But I don't know. It was a loss. I mean, everybody. There's a lot more people that have been damaged like that. And I'm not trying to back up Ronda Rousey. Don't get me wrong. She lost clearly to Holly Holm. She was overconfident. She underestimated Holly Holm's height advantage, reach advantage, and boxing ability. Kickboxing ability, that is. And she lost. You know what I'm saying? And it hurt more. And like I said, I made a video before and it says, the worst backlash of 2015 goes to Ronda Rousey. If you guys didn't see that video, you guys check him out. It's in my channel. But I think, can she come back from this? I believe so. Would the rematch happen? Maybe. It would be a big money. It'd be some big money. We talking about big money if that happens. Would Holly Holm afford Ronda Rousey the opportunity for a rematch? If the money's right, I guess. But other than that, I don't see it happening. But if the money's right, I guess it would happen. But do we want to see a rematch? Obviously, yes. Hell yeah. Everybody wants to see a rematch. No problem there. It's always exciting when somebody loses and trying to get back up, and you know what I'm saying. But other than that, I think, like I said, back to the question of, would it hurt UFC? It would in the beginning, but like I said, they're always looking for talent and stuff like that. Eventually, they'll find another Ronda Rousey, if not better. But if Ronda Rousey never returns to UFC, I guess what happens. The title was "What Happens If Ronda Rousey Never Returns to UFC." They'll just have to find a new talent. I mean, it hurts a little bit, but it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't really. But no doubt about it. In my own opinion, I think Ronda Rousey losing to Holly Holm just made her more popular. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Well, she's still famous. We can't call her infamous yet. She's still famous. Losing one time. I mean, that's everybody every now and then underestimate somebody and loses. I mean, there are some people that are undefeated, but have they fought long enough, and they would probably lose. You can never be on top unless something happened to you, like die. You know what I'm saying? But let me know what you guys think. What if Ronda Rousey never returns to UFC? Would it really hurt UFC? Or do you think Ronda Rousey would not return? Or would she return? Let me know what you guys think. Drop me a comment. Thought to give you guys a quick update on this news. Interesting article. It's a lot of answers to it. Simple questions, but it's a very simple question. What happens if Ronda Rousey never returns to UFC? It's very simple, but there are so many possible answers. Let me know what you guys think. Drop me a comment. And as always, thank you for watching JF Sports.